What was really going on with Epstein? Because Epstein was more than just a serial pedophile and a pervert.
I think the right question is to ask is, was Jeffrey Epstein working for Israel?
Millions of newly released records tied to convicted sex offender and pedophile Jeffrey Epstein make one thing unmistakably clear. He wasn't just running a global sex trafficking network. He was deeply embedded inside political, financial, and intelligence circles. And some of his closest, most consequential relationships led straight to Israel. This is part 2 of that story. This is Epstein's Israeli connection. Epstein repeatedly portrayed himself as an informal diplomatic fixer and intelligence intermediary, someone who could open doors others couldn't. One of his most significant connections was with former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. Emails, audio, and meeting records show Barak turning to Epstein for help with introductions, investments, and technology linked to Israel's strategic interests. That included discussions around advanced surveillance and data analytics tools. Audio from 2013 released by the US Department of Justice in the latest file dump captures Epstein urging Barak to explore collaboration with Palantir, the AI data analysis firm co-funded by tech billionaire Peter Thiel, a company critics accuse of enabling mass surveillance on Palestinians and powering Israel's military data systems. Around the same time, Epstein invested directly in Barak's startup Carbine, an AI-driven emergency communications platform with deep ties to Israeli security networks. Critics describe these ventures as part of a wider ecosystem where instability and conflict become business opportunities. In emails exchanged during unrest in Ukraine, Syria, and other regions, Epstein described chaos as profitable. Barak replied that turning turmoil into revenue was complex, but worth discussing. Leaked correspondence also shows Epstein acting as a middleman between Barak and Ariane de Rothschild, head of the Edmund de Rothschild Group, the same Zionist Rothschild banking dynasty that played a historic role in the creation of Israel. Epstein pushed plans to finance Israeli cyber weapons startups, and in 2015, de Rothschild signed a $25 million deal with Epstein's Southern Trust Company, the same vehicle he used to fund Carbine. When the Rothschild Bank later faced the U.S. Justice Department's investigation, Epstein helped recruit former Obama White House counsel Catherine Rumler to negotiate a non-prosecution agreement. While current Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu has denied having any ties with Epstein, DOJ documents show the sex offender facilitated a 2011 meeting between JP Morgan's leadership and Netanyahu. Emails from the Syrian civil war suggested Epstein also worked to arrange a private meeting between Israel's Barak and Russia's President Vladimir Putin to discuss Syria. His bidding for Israel extended into Washington. During the 2016 U.S. election, Barak asked Epstein to help arrange U.S. President Donald Trump's appearance on Israeli television. In 2017, Epstein exchanged messages with Indian billionaire Anil Ambani, a close ally of PM Narendra Modi, discussing U.S. diplomacy and a possible Modi-Trump meeting. Modi visited Washington soon after, then became the first Indian PM to visit Israel. Epstein later bragged in an email, "The Indian Prime Minister Modi took advice, danced and sang in Israel for the benefit of the U.S. presidents. It worked." That same year, India became Israel's largest arms buyer. All of this happened after Epstein's 2008 conviction as a sex offender, a case that ended with a widely criticized sweetheart deal he made with U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida, Alex Acosta, 13 months in county jail with work release privileges. Despite that conviction, Epstein continued operating at the highest levels. He even backed Barak's attempted political comeback in Israel's 2019 elections. That effort collapsed when Epstein was arrested on federal trafficking charges that year. He never stood trial. Before he could testify under oath, before his finances and contacts were examined in open court, Epstein was found dead in his jail cell. With him died the chance to publicly unravel the full extent of the network that protected him. Questions around his intelligence ties have remained a constant. Much of that speculation centers on Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's closest associate and the daughter of Robert Maxwell, a British media mogul long accused of working with Israel's Mossad. Former Israeli intelligence officer Ari Ben-Menashe claims Epstein and the Maxwells were intelligence assets. Others allege Robert Maxwell introduced Epstein to Israeli leaders. U.S. officials have never confirmed this. But Epstein's 2008 legal immunity deal raised eyebrows. Acosta later said Epstein's lawyers told him their client belonged to intelligence, a claim the South Florida attorney later downplayed. However, a 2020 FBI memo cites a confidential source, alleging they witnessed Epstein's lawyer Alan Dershowitz telling Acosta that his client belonged to both U.S. and allied intelligence services, including Mossad. The source also claimed Epstein was trained as a spy under Barak's supervision. In a 2018 exchange, Epstein told Barak ahead of a meeting with a Gulf businessman, "You should make clear that I don't work for Mossad," smiley face. Barak replied with a winking emoji. The documents reveal a consistent pattern. Epstein positioning himself as useful, connecting power to power, and advancing Israel's political, military, and technological interests. Whether he was an intelligence asset or simply a criminal too valuable to be initially shut down remains unanswered. What is clear is that his sex trafficking operation functioned alongside access, influence, and protection. And that raises a final, disturbing question. Was Epstein just exploiting power? Or was power exploiting Epstein?